Hello. Just gonna start out this conversation like this. Some of the lessons that I've learned as a 36-year-old. I just turned 36 a couple of days ago, and so the lessons that I've learned from a person that have done, and this is from a person that have done some of the things, or most of the things that most men my age and younger are trying to do, and that's starting a family, having a successful career, um, having kids, and making money. The things that society has deemed to be success. um, I have done. I was once married. I've had a very successful uh, career in the tech industry, working for some of the top uh, companies in the industry. We're talking Cisco, Disney, Salesforce, Instacart, just to name a few. And I've worked with those companies for the last 10, 12 years, 13 years of my career. I've also been married, right, and had kids, or I have kids. Uh, and these are just some of the things that it might in my course of reflecting and just writing down some of my thoughts. These are some of the things that I've learned, and I took some notes and things that I've learned as a 36-year-old, and I'm hoping that somebody that's my age or younger looking to achieve these types of things learn something from it. But this is my attempt to start recording some of these videos, documenting them, not just writing about them, but also talking about them to allow my ears hear uh, some of the things that I've written down, right? And here, first point. Nothing is constant. People dream goals. Just seek truth and love deeply, knowing it could be temporary. From a person that have lived, I could say, a full life, right? And still living, and still growing, still learning. I've noticed that nothing is constant. Energy is always in motion. Nothing is constant. The goals that you have today, tomorrow might not be what you even have interest in, right? Some of the dreams that you have might be from a previous self lens, and when you get to a certain level, a certain stage of your life, you might not uh, you might not even have those dreams anymore. It might not move you like you used to, right? In some instance, making certain type of money, haven't made those types of money, you might come to some realization that there are certain things that's not for you, right? So um, the basic, or the baseline of it all is seeking truth, accepting truth, seeking truth always, and just open your heart to love deeply, love things deeply, love uh, people deeply. Never attach to them, because again, it's not constant. Never attach to them, but just open your heart to love. If you don't love deeply, you might not even know how deeply you can ever love, right? And also, you'll be doing yourself a disservice by not actually loving deeply, right? So I think us as humans, what we're here for is to love and give love, right? um, so just open your heart and loving deeply is, and taking truth are one of the lessons that I've learned as a 36-year-old. Never say never, just gain more perspective. And this is the second point. Never say never, just gain more perspective, and never forget to zoom out once in a while, right? Uh, Never say never for anything. Food, people, locations, never say never. Circumstances, whatever it is. Perspective, never say never. Right? I've learned that, I would say never on certain things, and by the time I'm old enough or aware enough to a certain degree of, or have gained more information and perspective about that particular thing, I would make a different decision, right? Never say never to anything. Your role is to gain more perspective, more information, more knowledge before making decisions, right? And never forget to zoom out to see the bigger picture, because in most cases we're zoomed in, bootstrapped, working. We never raise our heads to really see what we're working on, or have or zoomed out lens, a bird's eye view, to be able to see the bigger picture of what we're doing. So having that zoomed out lens, or zooming out once in a while, it helps you stay current. It helps you stay motivated. It gives you more perspective. It gives you more angle. You're able to calculate more. You're able to move differently because you see it differently, and not just in the works always, right? So that's one of the lessons I've learned as well. The third on my list is, above all, God is the ultimate. Your plan is not His plan. His plans for you are the best plans. Stick to it to save yourself the headaches of the in-betweens, right? This is this is big for me as an immigrant. There's there have been so many in-betweens, not very sure, not very certain, not very confident in some areas, in decision making on things that know I don't know the full scope of, having faith in God, and just believing in God, believing in His plan, has that's what has kept me going, right? Not exactly knowing the full scope of it, just jumping into it, just like I did, with tech, and working as a cybersecurity specialist for many years now, not knowing exactly what it entails, or not knowing the full scope of the job, but just having faith in God, doing my work, doing my research and my work, as little as it was, or it could be, or was at the time, right? And just jumping in, having faith in God, and just believing that He got me, starting a family, raising kids, those things. I've just gone to understand that God's plan is the best plan. If I stick to God's plan, and seek God always, it's a lot easier for me. It saves me the in between, the sleepless nights, the headaches, the worrying, all those things. So just focusing on God and just throwing it all on His feet is the best way to move, and that's helped me a whole lot, right? So it's the best for me, and that's the third lesson or point that I have. The fourth is be grateful. It could be worse than you know. Someone has it worse than you, and someone would always have it better than you, right? Gratitude is very important. Gratitude is how you keep yourself open for more, right? If you're not grateful for what you have, it could be taken away from you, and you see what the other side looks like, right? Gratitude is how you tell God you're ready for the next level. You tell the universe you want to move to the next phase and the next stage of your life, right? Gratitude helps me keep it simple. It just keeps me present. It helps me just taste the air, if I could say that. It's how I stay grounded, right? And I've learned that being grateful is very, very essential. Very, very essential. It helps you stay happy. It helps you stay content in the level that you are in, not meaning that you wouldn't move on to the next level, but it helps you just be in this level and be grateful and just content in this level. It helps you learn what you have to learn in this level. It opens you up to a lot of opportunities. So I've learned that in my life as a 36-year-old, that gratitude is very, very important. On my list, the fourth on my list is, or the fifth actually on my list is, be bored more. In boredom lies your superpower, that's where your creativity flows. I'm gonna say that again. Be bored more. In boredom lies your superpower, and that's where your creativity flows. Right? Society has just pushed us to be busy, 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 running, 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 never really taking some time to think, never really taking some time to strategize, right? I've noticed that boredom is our superpower as humans, and that's going to be a separate video. But boredom, in being bored, is how you reflect, is how you strategize, is how you think more, is how you imagine more, right? And those things are very, very essential uh, as a man, as a human, as a growing human, I'd say, right? So don't be afraid to be bored more. Learn to be bored more because that's where your creativity comes. In those levels is where, or in those stages is where you start to find more about yourself, find out more about yourself, you learn more about yourself, you uh, you reflect more. When in boredom you talk to God more, in those, in just being quiet with yourself and just being in peace with yourself, you tend to hear from God, and that's if you're not distracted. I have an active mind. I have a very my mind. I have a very imaginative mind and sense, but again, very active mind. My mind, always just runs. So being still, being present, and being bored has helped me a whole lot. But that's another lesson that I've learned. On my this is this The sixth lesson that I've learned: live light, love deeply, be emptied, and ready to be filled again. Right? I can't remember where the line. It's, I think it was from Lil Wayne, but where he said, I walk so light not to piece the ground off. Just living very light, helps a lot. It helps you process a lot. Not being too much of a uh, buy, get. It helps you just stay light. Like in the conversations, you stay light in your conversations. Your relationship is lighter. Dealing with people is a lot lighter. Your mornings are lighter. You just live a very light and peaceful life. It's not so much very heavy, right? And for me, just living light, and that's just the simplest thing, right? Not too much stuff, not too much clothes, not too much of anything. Just being light and just being uh, in peace with myself, and just it helps me open up to love, right? Because again, I don't have anything to gain. I don't have no one to please. It's just there's no sentiment. I'm able to just love people from a distance, love them up close, be able to deal with them more. Um, Nothing, no hard feelings, because again, we're all humans. I don't know if I gain their perspective of, or be in their shoes, if I would make the same decisions that they're making. So just living a life where I necessarily don't, not judging. I'm not. There's no sentiment. I just live very light, and for me, it helps me being able to pour everything out, right? Be Just to be able to empty myself and be emptied, and that's love and creativity, whatever it is, and just be ready again, open-minded, be ready to be filled again, because again, we're gaining perspective, right? Perspective. When you gain new perspective, new knowledge, new information, be ready to throw out the old ones that you have. Empty yourself of the old ones. Be ready to be filled again, just based off of the information and the perspective that you've gained, right? being open to learning, being open always to learning, being open minded to knowledge, and just keeping yourself in that motion of being open again to receiving new insight, new information, new perspective, new knowledge, right? So, and that's it's helped me as a 36-year-old that's still learning and still figuring out life. I would say, live for more than yourself. Service for others. This is how you keep depression away and be more happy, right? So I've noticed that when you do for others, it takes the focus away from yourself. It helps you. It helps you with gratitude, for sure. It also helps you to not be all zoomed in into yourself, be self-absorbed. You're bringing somebody else. You're thinking for other people. I've noticed that you tend not to, or I tend not to get depressed or sad about nothing because I'm always in service. I'm always, somebody calls me, I'm always open to go help anybody. I'm always open to pull them in or pull them out, whatever it is. That just helps me learn more about myself, helps me learn more about others. It gives me more perspectives. And like I always tell people around me and my friends, I'm a perspective collector. I collect perspectives. It gives me, and it gives me an overview of the whole general picture and the bigger picture. I would say, like for me as a human, I only have one perspective or more perspectives now. But as humans, your view is just one lens, right? And with one lens, you're not able to make prime decisions or ground decisions because again, you only have one lens, right? But you getting multiple perspective from other humans just like yourself, it gives you a bigger picture. You're able to see everything in whole, I would say, right? So for me, the focus away from myself and just being in service to others helps me stay happy. And I have a bonus. I have a bonus point, and the bonus point is walk every day. Take more walks. I've noticed that when I take walks, it just gives me a new appreciation for even the place that I walked through yesterday. I tend to notice more things that I didn't notice yesterday. It just keeps me present. Uh, Science is always back. It's backed with science too. That when you walk more, your brains process better, right? And you're able to stay healthy because you're moving more, right? And your feet is in motion. Sometimes I take walks without a book, without an audiobook in my case, audiobook, podcasts, lectures, music. I just walk and just enjoy just walking, right? So taking walks daily helps me a whole lot. I enjoy taking walks, and I believe everybody should take more walks. I think it's a good way. I mean, I'm African, so I'm very used to it taking walks. But I've started since the last couple of years started to enjoy my walks. Right. Well, this is just the lessons that I've learned as a 36-year-old. I'm hoping that you're able to learn something from it. But the goal again for these videos is for me to document my thoughts, have them in recordings so that my kids can learn from them. Not just my kids, but everybody else. But also for my ears to hear what my hands or my mind is thinking about, just to hear them out loud, right? So if you helped, um, connect. Let's connect together because again, We're here to create, connect, and also contribute. So let's connect. Let's learn from each other, and that's the goal. For some of these videos, is to connect, also, um, to find like-minded people that we can grow together, because iron sharpen iron, and just be able to collect more perspective and be able to see it more in depth and learn from each other, I would say. So, until the next video, thank you and have a wonderful day.